Hi everyone, my name is Mark and I am making a video in part of a series of informing you about oil and gas working interests investments. And if you are considering making an investment in oil and gas project that is an exploration, I want to share my experience so possibly you might reconsider, because what's happened to me has been a overall negative experience largely. You can watch the other videos, but basically I put $100,000 2 years ago into a couple of projects through Bruce Soltani, who's my advisor, and it was based on a lot of information. I think a lot of the information is not clear up front. I can probably guess that other people selling these products, investment products, are equally give the same information, and right here, it's kind of tax time, and so this video is going to talk specifically about the idea of the tax advantage. And you can watch other videos to find out about why my projects haven't gone very well and what the danger is there. But this one specifically discusses the supposed tax advantage of putting your money into these programs. So I put $100,000 into these two programs, and I did get a big tax advantage that year. The money was basically was a tax deduction. But the reality of that is that there's a very logical reason for that. If you were going to invest in a business where you actually put money into, let's say, buying an ice cream truck, and you were going to sell ice cream, when you bought that ice cream truck, then if you had made an extra $100,000 that year and decided to start a business doing that, then that money would go into the business. Of course, you don't have any money at that point in time. You bought a truck and you bought a bunch of ice cream. It's the same thing here. It's a normal business expense. You're getting involved in these oil projects, so you're putting your money into it, and at that point, if the oil doesn't produce, you've got no money. You can't sell your portion of this. So it's just like a normal business, which I didn't understand at the point in time. That yes, if I started a business doing X, Y, or Z, selling widgets that year, and put the money into it, then I would be able to write that off as tax against my taxes, because I'm starting a business, I'm putting the money into it. I've got right here in my hands my 1099 from the oil and gas investment. Now, this year, I put $100,000. Remember, I said I put $100,000 into it. In my second year of this, the total that I've gotten back from this particular one, of my $55,000 investment, I got $1,500 back. So, they tell you you're going to get 10% per year, and I believe that there are some projects that do. Mine certainly didn't. But the part relating to this tax situation is that I have to pay taxes on the $1,500 that came back to me. So you're not getting a tax advantage. You're offloading your tax to future years. So I didn't pay the tax when I put the $100,000 into the project, but as it comes back to me, I'm paying tax on it, just like I would pay tax on any other investment. But the thing about it is that, yes, if I bought $50,000 worth of stock and I sold it and made $1,500 off of it, I would pay tax on the $1,500, but I also had the $50,000. In this case, you don't have the $100,000 that I put in. That tax savings that I got up front offloaded my taxes for that year, but I am paying it back every penny that comes back to me. So originally, I was told that it's tax savings, so you really, you have to consider that you'll make your money back out of this when you get, whatever your tax savings was. Tax savings are $20,000 off of that $100,000. The reality is that's not true. I am paying every penny. So for the $100,000, if I ever eventually get $100,000 back out of it, only at the point when I actually get checks of $100,000 will I be on an equal playing field. Because as I get those checks, I am paying taxes on them. So the only place where this could come into play where it actually really was a tax savings would be if you made so much money one year that it put your tax rate in, and then you stopped making money in the following years, and you paid tax at a lower rate as the money came back to you.
I'm not in that position. I continue to make money. My tax bracket is still almost where it was when I put the money into it, and so there's no tax savings to this program. So there's other videos that I put up explaining other various dangers of this product, but the fallacy of this being a tax savings needs to be expressed. And somebody can post something that's contrary to that fact, but all I know is that this 1099 in my hand makes me pay taxes on the pathetic $1,000 or $1,500 that I got in this investment, and basically I am going to pay tax up to the point that I get the $100,000 that I invested. If it ever happens, which I am in serious doubt that I'll ever even get that money back, but I will pay all the taxes that I quote-unquote saved by getting involved in this investment. Don't do it. Don't do this investment. Don't work with Bruce Soltani. Don't allow them to convince you that this is in any way a safe investment. Don't listen to the peak oil statements. Don't go with your gut saying we're running out of oil. There's so many more layers to this thing, and it is not a good investment. Do something else with your money. Thanks.